Welcome back to my tutorial on how to digitize your hand-drawn fashion sketch. In this episode, we'll finish creating the outfit of our figure. Then, we'll talk about the preparation of the image, its subsequent rasterization, and finally, we'll proceed with its editing through clipping masks. Let's see how to do this. We've now come to the final and most beautiful stage of the digital fashion sketch creation, the one that will allow us to preview our idea of the future outfit. Let's apply the image of the chosen fabric to the path fill of the dress. Then we're going to create a new layer and shortly name it Fab for fabric. Let's move this layer by dragging it in the Layers panel beneath the dress layer. In this layer, we're going to add the file of the fabric image directly from its folder through the drag and drop method. Alternatively, we can do the same operation by opening the File menu from the main menu bar, click on Place, then choose the required file. The image gets opened on the full size of the artboard. We can now scale it proportionally to roughly 1/5 of the area to be filled, and in any case, to the size that makes the pattern proportional to the figure dimensions. The small image area will correspond to the repetition ratio of the fabric pattern. Our task is now to create the area of the fabric, and we'll make it as large as the area within the dress outline. In order to do so, we're going to use the Reflect tool by recalling it from the vertical toolbar or from the Object tab in the main menu bar under Transform, Reflect, by entering the horizontal or vertical reflection parameters for the copy of the object. Let's set the first rotation point, then, in order to view the guide of the rotating axis and perform the separation on the drawing copy, let's press the Shift key, then the Alt key. Once the object copy is in the correct position, let's release the mouse button, and after that the keys. For a better outlook, I'm going to select the color of the selected lines in the layer by double-clicking on the layer. I'm choosing the horizontal reflection first, with rotation axis on the right side of the fabric rectangle. If the sum of the widths of our two rectangles covers the fill area in width, we'll no longer need to repeat the horizontal reflection. Otherwise, we'll reflect the last rectangle again, using the right side as the rotation axis. Let's select through the Selection tool both or three of the rectangles obtained, and group them together by opening a submenu while clicking with the right mouse button on the selected objects. Then press Group, or activate the same tool from the main menu bar in the Object tab and choose the Group item. We're now going to reflect the group obtained vertically, using the lower side of our object's group large rectangle as the rotation axis. We repeat this operation until we're satisfied with the length of our new fabric image. Let's group everything together in the Fab layer. To simplify the graph, we'll be using the Rasterize tool from the Object menu in the main menu bar. Raster effects are effects that generate pixels instead of vector data. Let's choose the necessary option in the Rasterize submenu. Color model determines the color model that is used during rasterization. We'll leave it as that of the entire CMYK document. Resolution determines the number of pixels per inch in the rasterized image. We set it to 300 ppi. Background determines how transparent areas of the vector object are converted to pixels. White to fill the transparent areas with white pixels. Transparent to make the background transparent. we're going to set the white background. Anti-alias. It is applied to reduce the appearance of jagged edges in the rasterized image. If deselected, it helps to maintain the crispiness of fine lines and small text. Select Art Optimized to apply anti-aliasing that is best suited to artwork without type. Create Clip-in Mask. Makes the background of the rasterized image transparent. We deselect it by choosing a white background. Add a round object. Adds a padding or border around the rasterized image, using the specified number of pixels. The white boundary added to the original object becomes a visible border on the image. We enter the value 0. We'll use the obtained image as a fill attribute for the path of the dress outline. Let's drop the fab image on the dress path. Please note that the dress path layer is located above the fab layer in the Layers panel. Then, select both layers by holding down the Shift key. If we right-click on the drawing or go to the Object menu of the main menu bar, we can activate the Create Clip-in Mask item. This way, we obtain the trimmed fabric object with the dress path outline. The new object has no path line. Therefore, by opening the Clip group in the Layers panel, select the Clip-in path and choose the line parameters again, width of 0.35 mm and black color. We're also going to correct the paths of the details dead in the dress layer, both in width and color. If necessary, increase the width where the lines are not clearly visible from 0.1 mm to 0.2 or even 0.25 mm, and replace the black color with light gray or white. With this, dear friends, we have finished creating the fashion sketch outfit as well as the technical part of our drawing. For those of you who are curious to also see the artistic creative part of the stylization of the drawing lines, gradients, and further fills, I recommend waiting for the additional part of this tutorial. I look forward to your feedbacks, so don't be shy. Like this video if the content was interesting and useful for you, and write me in the comments. Remember to click on the bell too, so you won't miss the next episode. Also, follow me on my Instagram page. Bye! See you next time!